I just heard shots ring out and then got shot at. So I know there's no way he could have made it out of the car.
I told you can't trust these niggas. Now Puffy done killed Tupac, man.
We know something's wrong with you, but it's okay, because M said it's okay and Dre said it's okay.
Yeah, I had nothing to do with this.
If I wouldn't have never met him, I wouldn't have never been involved in this bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't never made a call to Diddy. I got Diddy's number. Just hit him up. Yo, Diddy, what up? Never happened.
And the winner is Eminem, the Eminem Show.
Diddy was connected across every level of the industry, from politicians and billionaires to rap stars and Hollywood heavyweights. He was the person everyone wanted access to. And at one point, even 50 Cent was close to him, before that relationship eventually turned into an open rivalry.
Get your hand out my pocket. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing on the channel. Get your hand out my pocket, man. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, man. Yeah, you gonna make me. Okay, I'm telling y'all right now.
But among everyone in the industry, there was one name that never crossed into Diddy's circle. One artist who kept his guard up regardless of how powerful those connections were. That artist was Eminem. From the very beginning, he wanted no part of Diddy's world. Not in the 90s, not in the 2000s, not at any point. While others were pulled into the spotlight, the parties, and the power moves, M stayed far removed, keeping his circle small and his distance even greater. That line from Fuel really hits hard. And here's where things get interesting. By the time Eminem released that track, the tension between him and Diddy wasn't new at all. It had been building for years. Eminem had already thrown subtle jabs and quiet disses long before the public started paying attention. Back then, Eminem was still an underground artist grinding for recognition, while Diddy was already at the top of the hip-hop world. A powerful executive with money, influence, and one of the most successful labels in the industry, Bad Boy Records. For a lot of artists, getting signed there was the ultimate goal. But Eminem never wanted that path. Marshall was focused on something else entirely, a lane he believed in from the beginning. Instead of chasing the flashy spotlight, he aligned himself with Aftermath Records and Dr. Dre, setting the foundation for a legacy that would end up reshaping hip-hop. And here's the part most people forget. Even before the fame, before his name reached beyond Detroit, Eminem had already taken a direct shot at Puff back in 1996 on one of his Raw Underground tracks.
I'm like an R-A-P-E-R, got so many essays. Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P, did he? Yep.
That early line was more than just a diss, it was a warning. It made it clear that Eminem was never afraid to challenge the biggest names in the industry. Even when the odds were stacked against him, he wasn't backing down from anyone. And it didn't stop with Diddy. Eminem also had tension with another so-called giant of the era, Suge Knight, the man behind Death Row Records. At one point, that label dominated the West Coast and was home to legends like Tupac, Snoop Dogg, and Dr. Dre. Suge's reputation wasn't built on success alone. It was built on fear. In hip-hop circles, people spoke about him in hushed tones, like crossing him came with consequences. His image wasn't about diplomacy or respect. It was about intimidation, chaos, and control. Suge didn't run his empire with a soft touch. He ruled through pressure and authority, where power mattered more than anything else and mercy rarely entered the equation.
They was not scared of Suge Knight. They was terrified of Suge Knight.
But Eminem wasn't fazed by Suge's street reputation at all. None of it rattled him. That fearless mindset became obvious during a tense moment on the set of 50 Cent's Into Club music video. Without warning, Suge Knight showed up, surrounded by a crew, clearly trying to remind everyone that he still had influence in the streets. The energy on set shifted instantly. People knew Suge's presence usually meant problems, and the tension was real. But Eminem didn't react. He didn't move, didn't hide, and didn't back down for a second. While others felt the pressure, he stayed exactly where he was. That moment said everything. It showed just how little Eminem feared the man many in hip-hop once considered untouchable.
Suge's outside. Suge's outside. Everybody like, he was running, dropped his like.
So Suge came, he had some Mexican niggas. Now, we from New York. You ain't never seen a nigga with a tattoo on his forehead. 118th Street crew. I'm like, what the fuck?
After that tense face-off, Eminem didn't just brush it off and move on. He went straight into the studio and recorded a full diss track aimed directly at Suge Knight. But here's the twist, the public never heard it. Dr. Dre stepped in and shut it down. He told Eminem to let it go, explaining that it wasn't his fight to take on. Dre wanted to keep things from escalating, especially knowing how far Suge's influence could reach at the time.
When I knew Eminem was real, he's like, I don't give a man. This is when I fit these niggas outside, what's up? And then the nigga Suge just walked away. The Mexican niggas looked kind of confused, like they didn't know what's going on.
Back in the day, Diddy could brush off Eminem's jabs like they didn't matter. But this time was different. That one line hit far too close to something he never wanted brought back into the conversation. For Diddy, the subject of Tupac has always been deeply sensitive. It's the one topic that instantly shifts his tone. Whenever it comes up, he shuts it down, redirects the question, or changes the subject altogether. So when Eminem casually linked his name to that long-standing rumor, it wasn't just another diss. It was a trigger, and that's why Diddy couldn't play it cool this time. The line struck a nerve, one that's lingered for decades and one he's clearly tried to leave buried in the past.
Talk some hip-hop shit, man. I want to talk to Puff right now.
Yes.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah. Check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even going to go there, with all due respect. But I appreciate you as a journalist asking.
All right.
Thank you.
Later on, while Eminem was talking about his feud with Machine Gun Kelly in an interview, he casually dropped a detail that said a lot. He hinted that he and Diddy weren't connected at all, not professionally and not personally. He made it clear they didn't have each other's phone numbers and there was no communication between them whatsoever. And that one simple comment spoke volumes. No friendship, no alliance. Just two major figures in hip-hop moving in completely separate worlds.
I never made a call to Diddy, really? Yeah. I got Diddy's number, just hit him up. Yo, Diddy, what up? Never happened.
You'd think after everything that happened in 2018, Eminem and Diddy would have stayed completely separate. But a few years later, their names crossed paths again. In 2020, Eminem dropped Music to Be Murdered By, and on the opening track Godzilla, he slipped in a brief reference to Diddy. It wasn't a full diss, but fans noticed right away. It was a quiet reminder that the tension never fully disappeared. That calm didn't last long. Just months later, an unreleased Eminem verse leaked online. The verse had been recorded in 2019 for a remix of Conway the Machine's song Bang. In it, Eminem took a sharp shot at Diddy's media company, Revolt TV. The tone was aggressive and unfiltered, and the leak immediately sparked debate across hip-hop. Less than a day later, Eminem stepped in to cool things down. He explained that the verse was written in the heat of the moment and was never meant to be released. He publicly stated that he respected Revolt TV and didn't want any issues with Diddy or his team. Still, fans wondered if unresolved tension remained. But the biggest turn in this story didn't come from Eminem at all. By late 2023, Diddy faced serious allegations from multiple women, including a lawsuit from his former partner Cassie, describing years of alleged abuse and control. Around the same time, Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, a man long linked to rumors surrounding Tupac's murder, was arrested after previously making public claims that reignited decades-old questions. Together, these events sent shockwaves through the music world and reopened conversations many thought were long buried.
Suge just ducked his head, and the first bullet went in his head, then the next one's hit him. It was like he was doing a breakdance trying to jump in the back seat or something.
Riding the wave of all that chaos, Eminem came back even more aggressive. He released The Death of Slim Shady, and this time he didn't tiptoe around Diddy at all. One track especially caught everyone's attention, Bad One. On that song, Eminem drops sharp, cryptic lines that many listeners believe reference the infamous Diddy parties, the same ones people online have been speculating about for years. On the surface, the verse sounds playful, almost sarcastic. But underneath, it's layered with meaning that fans couldn't ignore. The reaction was instant. Listeners started breaking down the lyrics line by line, debating whether Eminem was once again taking direct aim at Diddy. With his trademark wordplay, he managed to spark a whole new wave of discussion and controversy without ever saying a name outright.
She probably ran out the room with his dildo. He tried to field goal punish. She said the chick.
Eminem delivers one of the most controversial wordplays of his career, spelling out a phrase that listeners quickly interpret as a reference to sexual assault, then doubling down by explicitly calling it out. The moment is shocking, and before the impact can settle, he pivots again, paying respect to Biggie and Tupac while referencing long-standing rumors tied to their deaths. It's a line most rappers wouldn't even go near. He doesn't stop there. On the Fuel remix, Eminem pushes the idea further, suggesting that Biggie's death followed Tupac's, a claim that sent shockwaves through hip-hop and reignited online theories. At that point, it felt less like provocation and more like lighting a fuse under one of the genre's darkest debates. After the death of Slim Shady, it's clear there's no peace between Eminem and Diddy. No truce, no quiet understanding. Eminem's loyalty has always been with 50 Cent, and that draws a hard line. That tension seemed even stronger after reports surfaced that Diddy sent 50 Cent funeral flowers following his documentary, a move many saw as a message, not sympathy. All of it reinforces the same conclusion Eminem's career has always pointed to. He's never been afraid to challenge power. From Suge Knight years ago to industry giants now, Marshall Mathers has always stood his ground. So what do you think? Is this just lyrical shock value, or is there real tension behind the bars? Drop your thoughts in the comments.